The sirens came too late. By the time they broke the door, the smell of blood had already settled, thick, metallic, like rusted truth. I was the one who found him, my father, on the kitchen floor, eyes half open, as if trying to finish a sentence he never got to start. Mom stood in the doorway, shaking, not from fear, from rehearsal. She held her phone like a lifeline and whispered, "They said it would be quick." I remember the flicker of red and blue lights on her face. For a second, they looked like guilt and relief colliding. Everyone called it a robbery gone wrong. But I knew better. The killers didn't break in. They were invited. The detectives came 3 times that week. Each visit felt like a storm that forgot to rain. Tense air, unspoken questions. They asked about my father's business, debts, arguments. Mom answered every question like she'd studied the script. Calm, cooperative, perfect. But I noticed what they didn't. Her new perfume, the texts she deleted before bed, the number saved only as K. They found the murder weapon 2 blocks away, a gun wrapped in cloth. Clean fingerprints, no leads. But something didn't fit. The CCTV near our street was off that night. Maintenance, the report said. Yet our electricity bill showed full power usage at that exact hour. I began collecting my own evidence, quietly. A deleted call log, a receipt for a hotel room booked in her name 2 days before the murder. The house changed after that night. The mirrors seemed to breathe. The walls held their breath. Mom started talking in half sentences, cooking too much, laughing too loud. At night, I'd hear her whispering, "He deserved peace." Her lover, the man behind the alias K, came once. I watched from the stairs as she told him, "No one suspects us." His silence was heavy. Guilt doesn't need words. I found the old voicemail my father left her, the last one before he died. "If you're done hiding, come home. We can fix this." Her response had been a bullet. The detectives called again. They said they'd found a trace, a hotel camera showing her car parked at 11:45 p.m. the same night my father was killed. Mom started taking pills to sleep. But sleep doesn't come easy when the dead still visit. Sometimes I'd catch her staring at my father's photo, trembling. Once I asked if she missed him. She smiled and said, "I buried that part of me." She didn't know she was right. She'd buried herself too. It was me who gave them the final piece, a USB drive, one I found behind her mirror. Inside, a single audio file, a phone recording, her voice. "Make sure it's done tonight. He'll be home by midnight." The detective's hand froze mid-air. He didn't look at me. He didn't have to. When they took her in for questioning, she didn't resist. But when they played the recording, she broke. Not with tears, with laughter. That sound haunts me more than the gunshot ever could. She said, "He never loved me. I just made it official." They asked how long it had been planned. She said, "Long enough for him to stop mattering." The cameras caught everything, her confession, her collapse. By the time they cuffed her, she looked smaller, hollow, like the world had already erased her. That night, I walked through the same kitchen. The floor was clean now, no blood, no signs of life. But I could still feel him there, waiting for me to do what he never could. End it. The trial lasted 4 months. I didn't testify to punish her. I testified to finish the story. Her lawyer said she was emotionally manipulated. But guilt doesn't need a defense. It only needs a mirror. When they read the verdict, guilty of first-degree murder, she didn't cry. She just stared at me and said, "You sound just like him." I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that I'd never be like either of them. But maybe that's the curse of truth. It stains everyone who touches it. She was led away in silence. The lover she killed for never showed up in court. He'd left town months earlier. She traded a husband for a ghost. and lost both. Justice, when it came, didn't roar, it whispered. And in that whisper, I heard my father's voice say, "Thank you." I visit his grave once a year, not to pray, just to remember what silence costs. Mom's letters arrive sometimes, from prison. She never signs them, just writes, "Do you still dream of that night?" I don't reply. Dreams aren't meant to be shared. The police called me brave. The neighbors called me cursed. But I'm neither. I'm just the witness who waited too long to speak. The night she died, heart failure, they said, I didn't feel relief, only stillness, because in some twisted way, justice had already been done long before the verdict. The night she started seeing him in every reflection, hearing his breath in every silence. She killed him once, but he killed her every day after. And as I left the cemetery, I realized some graves aren't dug in the ground. They live inside us, and they never stop whispering.